What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie P all day. This guy right here. I'm bringing you my favorite knife I never brought you. I have not taken this thing out yet and banged it around. All I've done is sit around and play with it in the house. And I've done it a lot because I've had this thing sitting for quite a while waiting to go. But I've just had so many other things I kept doing, right? There's so many other reviews I was putting out and challenges and customizations and answering the calls and the heeds of the people to do special things for everybody. And today I'm finally doing one for me. I'm doing this right here. This is the Trail Master by Cold Steel. We will first and foremost go over this guy right here. What do you have? You have the typical Cold Steel Secure X plastic sheath, right? And this thing, it works. I mean, it's just like the one that they do on a lot of their knives. It's the same thing. You have lashing points, lashing points, lashing points. You have places for accessories, ferro rods, strikers, magnesium, just anything you want to attach to a knife sheath that you think you need to go into the wilderness and survive with. These sheaths right here can take it all, and they are ambidextrous. So you can wear it on either side. This one right now is set up for a righty, only because I haven't changed it yet, but it will soon be switched over. The lock is to keep it from falling out, but if I dip it upside down, there's a good chance that it'll fall out. So it's Secure X, but it's not 100%, like friction. It's not a friction hold, but right there, I mean, you can see it's pretty good. But that's what this guy right here is for anyway, is to keep that thing from jostling around while you're on horseback or you're running or things like that. It's just going to keep it in there really secure, really nice, and it'll keep it from moving this way away from the leg once it's on you. That is good. You do have a Velcro plus snap belt loop, which means you can take it on and off of your person without having to undo a belt. Very good. It is big enough for a duty belt. Very better. Just a good strong sheath, but all about the lashing points and leg tie down knots here. So good, and ambidextrous, better. So, that's right, it is 5/16 thick. If you guys don't know what 5/16 looks like, go to a 1/4 inch onto your ruler and then pass it. It's over a 1/4 inch thick. That means this is probably the thickest knife blade you'll hold, unless you're holding the D-Bad Preacher, which is awesome. But this is as thick as it gets for a hunting knife or camp knife. This is just ridiculous. That is one big hunk of steel, and it's beautiful, and it is O-1 steel. If you don't know what O-1 steel is, this is what you do. You basically take regular steel and you put it on an altar, and God reaches down with this big mystical hand, grabs your steel, pulls it up to heaven, and licks it. And sends it back as O-1 steel. That's exactly how it's made. Don't look it up, just believe me, all right? No questioning this. So let's go over this O-1 beauty. We are looking at a blade length of, am I in there? Yeah, we're looking at a blade length of 9.5 inches. We're looking at an overall length of 14.5 inches. The steel is O-1 high carbon. The weight is 17.4 ounces. Blade thickness, as I told you, is 5/16. You have a 5-inch Cray X handle. Now let's get into that. So the Cray X handle, it is awesome. It's made to be able to grab in any weather, any conditions, wet, dry, whatever. It's made to give you a grip without hot spots. And when you're talking about a very grippy grip, something that is knotted and bubbled and burled like that, you're going to think, oh man, it's going to cause so much on the hand to where it's going to rub you. No, it's not. The only thing, first of all, I'm a big hand guy. So it's made to be able to be used for people with any size hands, which means for a very, very large hand person, you are going to feel that it's a little small. That's where the grip comes in. It doesn't make a difference. So small grip, it's okay. And if you're wearing gloves, then it's going to be a perfect ideal fit. Like with a larger handle knife, if you wear gloves, now all of a sudden it's too big. So there's some give and take there. Oh, you do have a lanyard hole pin. This is full tang. That's good. So you do have a hollow pin. And that's a big lanyard hole too, so you could stick it. You could put a 2x4 in there and strap it to yourself if you really want. It's just really hard to tie a 2x4. Your handguard is brass, and it's needed because you have this coffin style. You can see it is coffin. It comes in and out. This coffin style handle. Obviously, I see a lot of knife makers out there making knives where you have a straight handle or coffin style handle and no handguard, and it goes right into the blade. That means doing this is going to allow your hand for slippage, and you will slice off your fingers. Knife makers, if you're making a big sharp knife where the edge is not too far away from the handle as far as depth, add either a swell or a handguard, because penetrating is just not good if you don't have that there. And you're thinking, oh, well, my knife's not made to penetrate. It's made for cutting and this and that. Eventually, sometimes you got to put it down, right? So think about that, knife makers. Think about that. You do have a nice ricasso here for tight work. You can get into that really easy. Man, it's really nice to hold to with the blade thickness. When you put your thumb down, you need no kind of jimping. You need no kind of extra swells or thumb ramps. It just fits really, really well because there's so much ground to put your freaking thumb on, or your finger if you're doing stuff like that. Now that would make it difficult if you're trying to skin and using a finger over the top on the spine. That would not be good if you're trying to skin. What I would do is just use a full side grip and come through and use your side grip, or choke up and skin in reverse with the thumb on the spine. That would be the best ways to do it. Now, as far as this awesome full flat grind, I love it. This is as perfect as it gets. And the swedge, this is like a 90% swedge right here. The only thing missing is the fine-tuned edge, but it is sharp enough for front cut, back cut, front cut, back cut. So if you're going reverse, you are tearing through something with that swedge. It's not sharp enough to where it's going to cut you on accident, but it's sharp enough to where you can cut something on purpose. So that right there, that's pretty deadly. It's almost like kind of like a hatchet's edge, and but it's on the end of your clip point, which is really nice, really, really nice. I do like that. So how sharp is it? Well, let's find out. Let's put this down real quick. Got some oil on my hands, some oil on my hands. All right. And I know, cold steel makes them sharp. They just make the oil is just keeping it all right there, but it's off. It's off. Ooh. So is it shave sharp? Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just playing with it at this point. All that oil is holding hair. But man, it is a nice shaver. It's so funny because all this hair is there. It's just in the blade. It's in the blade. So it's basically just sticking to me sticking to the blade at this point. But if I pull it off, you can see that there's plenty of hair coming off of there. I know some people get grossed out by that kind of thing, but look at all that, by all the hair. I had one person say, oh, if I never have to see another knife shave, blah, 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 somebody shave an arm. Well, guess what? That lets you know it's sharp. So get over it, sissy. So that's about it right there, man. That's about it on the edge. All right, well, that's it for the video. All right, so we're gonna take it outside and blasting this thing against some wood and just see its tolerances. Now it's cold outside, and y'all know I don't like it cold outside, and normally I would never test with a glove on because I like to get a true feel for it, but I know the feel. I know how great it feels, but my hands get cold, man. I'm a little girl out in the cold. So we're gonna take it out and swing it, and I'm gonna wear some gloves just for warmth and for nothing else. I'll tell you what, y'all, you know I like you if I'm out here in the cold doing this, especially dealing with water that's about to be spilling on me. So let's take a swat at the aluminum can with the old Trail Master. Y'all like that swing? There's no hurrah about it. This knife was just a flick of the wrist. And the good thing is that's all this knife needs is a flick of the wrist. It's just too good. This knife is too good. Let me tuck that back in there. It's windy out here. It's gonna be blowing all over the place. So, obviously, this edge is cutting through aluminum cans. Let's see. I got some ice. Some ice. Let's see if we can't just shave the ice. Look at this. Shaving the ice without breaking the ice. Shaving it. Giving it that nice flat spot. Look at that. Look at how pretty that is. Nice and flat. Look at this. Man, we can make a nice edge of ice. Tell me, when's the last time you seen a knife edge of ice? Look at that edge. Let's get this in the sun. Let's get it in the sun, boys and girls. Look at that. Look at that. We can literally sharpen ice with this knife. Sharpen ice. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's use that swedge. Getting pretty close to the fingers there, D-Bad. Oh, missed. All right, so let's keep going. Let's keep going now. I took a bunch of stuff that we would normally need, like rope and all that, and I put it over by the stumps. But we got sleet that froze over like snow, and I think my rope might be buried, but we'll see. We'll see what's going on, y'all. So let's take this hunk of ice, get it off of there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, so I see the rope under there. It's just frozen in there. There we go. We got some. We got some of it. So what we'll do is we're going to start first with a couple 4-foot drops. You hear that wind? It's terrible. 4-foot drops into the cold, frozen log here. Woo! That log is frozen because this thing is made to penetrate, and it is not wanting to on the 4-foot drops. All right, so you see the balance is dead straight, even in heavy wind. Now we're going to do some hard downward throws, make sure everything stays tight and right. Man, it's so weird doing it with a glove on. All right, so now that bite, you can see snow, no snow, how deep that bite is. Man, that there is nice. That there is nice. All right, so let's, man, it's weird with a glove. Thanks, hand guard, for not getting my fingers get sliced up. Do some, oh, wow. Oh. Now, normally when you're doing prise, you don't want to get the blade in as deep as possible. Look at that bow. But I am not worried at all on this tip. I am not worried about damage or anything like that. All right, so let's see. This is a frozen rope. I mean, oh my gosh, it's so hard. But here's the thing. Push cut is immaculate. Holy moly. That's one of the nicest push cuts I've ever seen. And it did it on a very hard, very frozen piece piece of something. All right, let's try and reach back here and get us something to swing through. And everything is frozen. Everything is frozen. Even D-Bad. D-Bad's frozen. All right, so let's try and figure out a way to stand this up. Everything's crooked. It's all crooked. All right, let's see here. Wow, that is just solid. Oh, my baton is frozen to the ground, y'all. My baton is frozen to the ground. I'll use the shorter one. All right, let's see. Let's see, Trail Master. Now, this is a lot different than doing it on a nice warm day where the wood is not frozen. So it's even a better testament to the edge by due to the weather conditions, due to how cold it is. And it is very, very cold. Very cold. So all this wood is frozen. But sometimes you got to survive even when it's cold out. And you need a knife that is going to get you there. And this one right here, well, this one right here will do the job. I mean, I know I just started the testing and all, but I got faith in this blade. Now, there's no way for me to set this thing up without it falling all over the place. So I'm going to just do a hold and let go here. There, man. Look at that split. That split's pretty good. That split's running all the way down. And that was just from a hold and swing on a frozen piece. Now what I want to do is I want to take a good swing here onto this piece. Look at that. Look at that. So, let's see. How's the old Trail Master looking? Well, that edge is, I was just, basically this wood is like chopping through rock right now. And that edge is perfect. I mean, perfect. Every one of those cuts, that wood is solid, and it's just no problem at all. Even with gloves on, this thing turns really nice in the hand until I get to this point where it gets stuck. But it is really, really nice. So, I mean, fighting Bowie. Now remember when old Jim Bowie had his fight at the sandbar, the knife was more like this than all those other styles that we see, like the Wild West Bowie, the Old West Bowie, the Musso Bowie. Those knives, while he did own a Musso style Bowie, I put it on film for you guys. His actual knife that he gave away. He owned one. That's not the knife he used in the sandbar. The knife he used in the sandbar looked more like a big kitchen knife, which would have been closer in resemblance to something like this. So this right here is pretty much the style of the original Big Bad Bowie fighting knives. This guy right here, especially with this thickness, this is the epitome of nasty girl. All right, so let's continue. Can't press pause with gloves on. All right, so I used this tree the other day to do a little chopping on, but it didn't have a layer of ice on it. So, and it was another cold steel blade. I chopped this with the Wild West Bowie after I fixed up the guard. But let's try. Wow, it's solid tree, man. This thing is solid frozen. Oh, yeah. You think this knife cares? You think this knife cares? You think it gives two craps about a frozen tree? No, what it's saying is, hey man, I get it that it's cold out, I get it that it's frozen, but we need to survive. We need to survive. So, in order to survive, we need to be able to chop through stuff. And I'll tell you what, this thing is chopping through stuff. That got stuck in there. That was a deep shot. Look at this knife perform. Look at this knife perform. And we want real world tests. I was just talking to Big Brody over at Wisconsin Edge, and we were talking about some of the tests these guys do that are useless. you know, we're talking about real world tests. A knife that you want to know how it's going to perform and what you're going to need to perform with it. We're not going to take this and then hammer it into a piece of wood and then stand on it. We're not going to do that. First of all, it's stupid. Second of all, it's a huge, huge disrespect to a knife maker to purposely try and break his knife. We want to purposely find out the uses of the knife. We want to purposely find out how good or not good it is. We don't want to find out what it takes to break it, because when you're in the woods, your goal isn't to break your knife, your goal is to survive. So we want to know, can we survive with the knife? And I've never seen in any survival situations, from being in the woods camping or to being in Afghanistan in combat, I've never had to take a knife, dig it into a 4x4, and then stand on it. You know, never had to do that, ever. And I've been around this game for a long time. I've been working with knives. 9 years in the Army, never had to stand on my knife. So, real world usage, that's what it comes down to. And you'll notice that in pretty much every video, I throw a knife. Well, guess what? That's real world usage, because I'll throw a knife into a charging enemy deer, because sometimes a deer is coming at you with an AK-47. You might have to stop them from 5 yards away. You know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? Even like a cougar. You got a cougar there. That thing's coming at you. I might want to just not get up close and personal. I might want to whisk a blade at it. Whoa! Get it. I might want to get a rabbit. You know what I mean? If I'm starving, I need to be able to throw at a rabbit. And I have this disc right here that's frozen into the ground. Let's see if I can't get it up. Ladies, don't listen to that. Let's see if I can't get it off the ground. That's what I should have said. Alright. See if I can't pry it. So here it is. I got this 10-inch disc of wood. And 10 inches is a lot like a rabbit on the ground. And if I balance that up and I see that sitting right there, and I back up 5 yards, see if I can get you guys in there. I can't see because of the glare, so let me walk up. Yeah, I think that's in there. If I see a rabbit, and I don't have a 22 on me, but I have a knife, I want to know if I can hit the rabbit. Oh, I'll tell you what, that would have cut through that rabbit's spine, because that hit right here. But I want to know, with practice, because I've never thrown this before, with practice, if hitting a that would have cut off his foot, hitting a 5-yard target is possible. And so far I'm blade up on this target. Now I just got to go blade in here. Oh my goodness. So I hit the frozen piece with the tip, and it just kicked out in the ice. So let's try it again, because we got to get it to stick. But I know that hunting with a knife, and you can see I hit it with the tip and actually split it. So that time I went tip in and it split the wood. So I know that if that there is a rabbit, that rabbit is food. That rabbit is now food. So let's see here. This thing's awesome. This thing's awesome, guys. It's cold. So what do we know? We know that it chops. We know that it cuts. We know that it slices. We know that we could throw it. We're learning a lot about this blade. We know exactly what this thing can and cannot do. And cannot is something I just haven't got to yet. But I'm pretty sure it can't drive a car. So we're going to call it something, right? But the Trailmaster by Cold Steel. I mean, this is almost as perfect a hunting knife as you can get, right? It's almost as perfect a hunting knife that you will find, that you will see, that is there, that is on the market, that is available for purchase or theft if you're really creepy, but I wouldn't do that. So, guys, right here, this thing's awesome, man. This thing's awesome. It's thick, it's burly, it's strong, it's well shaped, it's contoured nice, has a good handle. My jaws are freezing. We gotta take this ride into the house. Got the dogs out here freezing with me. Look, they're dying to get inside. That's not usually the dogs. Woo! All right. So, wow, that's cold. So here it is. The Cold Steel Trailmaster. This thing is just awesome. It is just awesome. I love it, man. I love it. This thing is as good as it gets when it comes to, you know, a 9.5-inch hunting knife blade. This thing's as good as it gets. It's a camp blade. It's an all-out camp blade. It's what it is. And it's how it should be known. I'm about to drop y'all. So, that's it. That's it. We have this thing. Let's take it off. Roscoe, come on. Get over here. Dog trying to go bother the cats. Come on. In here. Come on. Hurry up. Hurry up. Sometimes dogs are jerks. They just want to get into everything. All right. Woo. So, all right, go on. Go, 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 go. I'm going to chop your head off. Go on, go, go. But they just get real close to you and stare at you. Oh, come on. Back up, back up, back up, back up. All right. So here we go. I mean, this thing is just awesome. There we go. We got that nice reverse. It's a great knife. If you guys are looking for a great knife, and you want an impeccable camp knife, if you want an amazing hunting knife, if you want a superb self-defense knife, this guy right here is the best of all three worlds. It is just freaking jacked. This could have been the new Rambo knife if they really wanted to. I mean, it is just awesome. What a great piece by Cold Steel. Fantastic job. I'm loving it. And I'm Donnie B all day. Oh, yeah. Until next knife.